Welcome, everyone, to episode 11, Catching Up with Chris Jones. My guest tonight is a 4-year Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit angler who's won $250,000 with FLW in his very young FLW career. He started way back as a co-angler. He has fished the BFL All-American. He has fished the Bass Federation National Championship twice. He's a Toyota Series champion, and he currently sits in 5th place in the point standings going into the Super Tournament stretch coming up. Welcome to the show, Dylan Hayes. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, Chris, man. Glad you had me on here.
How's it going, man? Listen, we're in the middle of a quarantine right now, man, but it's almost over. What have you been up to the last couple months since Lake Martin?
I'm ready to break free. I know that this bust loose. I've been so busy. I have been so busy. I bought a house in Hot Springs, Arkansas, right about the time I closed on it about the 1st of February, and it was pretty much a full remodel job. So since we haven't been fishing, I've been putting all my time into that. And also, when I moved to Hot Springs, I wanted to kick up my guiding, and I figured if I can't guide in Hot Springs, I can't guide anywhere. I'm 2 miles from Lake Hamilton. I'm 16 miles from Lake Ouachita. I'm 18 miles from Lake Gray. And man, that has exploded. I've been doing 4 or 5 days a week, easy. I mean, every week for, I guess, like 10 weeks now. And man, in between that and remodeling this house, I spend a lot of time with my girls. We've been exploring Hot Springs. There's a lot of things to do, lots of trails to go hike on, all the lakes. They like to go fishing too. So we've just been making the most of it. It's been good. It's been real good.
That's good, man. Family time, fishing, doesn't get any better than that. You're having a great year. You made 2 top 30 cuts already, man, in 3 events. In good shape in the point standings, sitting 5th place, and we're halfway done now with the revamped schedule with the Super Tournament stretch coming up. So you're in good shape. Hey, let's talk from the beginning. Let's build you up from the beginning, man. Let's go back, I think 2000, maybe 8, 2009, University of Central Arkansas, Abu Garcia, FLW College Circuit, having a lot of success there. And talk about really how that kind of launched your career. I know that led you to the TBF National Championship twice, BFL All-American. You've had a lot of success in a very young career. It's a great start, but it got started with the college fishing, Dylan.
Right. Yeah, I started, me and a buddy of mine, John, we started the college team at the University of Central Arkansas.
Cool.
Our senior year. We were both seniors, and that's when the college fishing really kicked off for NFLW. So we wanted to be a part of that. And I think we fished 4 regular season events and maybe in a regional. We had a top 10 on Detroit River. I remember we had to stay in the Detroit River. I couldn't go to St. Clair or Erie. It was off limits. So that was a good experience there. But then we went to regionals. I think we zeroed the first day, caught the biggest bag of the whole tournament the second day, and missed nationals by like an ounce or something crazy like that. But yeah, it kickstarted me. Man, I was really green back then. I didn't know a lot. I thought I did, but I didn't. I didn't know anything. But it helped me get some lakes outside of Arkansas under my belt.
Sure.
And anytime you go outside and you fish a new lake, it helps you grow and learn. And I mean, that's a big key in this sport, is to always learn and pick up little things. You use them down the road.
Absolutely, man. And we're going to talk a little bit later about your northern success, man, because you've had a ton of success up north and on the Great Lakes, and some of the other fisheries up there. We're going to talk more about that later. Let's talk about the Bass Federation, TBF. They're partners in fishing and conservation with FLW, and you had a lot of success there too. Man, 2 national championships, TBF National Championship qualifier twice.
Yeah, I loved it. I love the fishing the Bass Federation. I fished the first year. I started out as a non-boater, and at the regional, I was the highest finisher from my state. But I practiced out of my boat. I was confident. I just went as a non-boater, but I practiced out of my boat, and I taught both my boaters to go on my fish both days, and I almost won that event. I finished in the
You
5, but I probably,
finished
if
fourth.
I'd have knew what I was doing a little bit more, I probably would have won that. But anyway, I was the highest finisher, so I got to go to the national championship. That's the one. Mark Daniels Jr. won it. I finished fourth. I was in third going to the last day. I finished fourth, and I'll never forget, man. Me and Mark, we're buddies now, but every day I was mixing in new water, water that I had caught them on in practice. And the last day I roll in Drowning Creek. I had 4 bites in this one stretch in practice, and they were good bites. I hadn't got to that far in the tournament yet, and I roll in there, and there's Mark right there, and he had been there all week, and he won that tournament right there. And I found the same fish, but I mean, sometimes you pick the wrong areas to go to. I mean, I didn't have any hooks on, so I knew they were good bites. Man, I had good bites all over the lake. So, but that was a huge first experience. That was my really first national level, the highest tournament I ever qualified for sure. I qualified for the All-American. That was the highest for my state, I guess, then, or for my region. Went to Nickajack, got my butt kicked. I think I finished 46th. The only reason I know that because I have a trophy that says 46th place, and it reminds me every time I look at it.
Now, is that the one that Kerry Milner won?
That is the one Kerry Milner won.
Okay, there we go.
Man, I learned so much that week. Again, really young, inexperienced fisherman, and I thought I had to run down to the lower end of the lake, and that's where everybody else. I mean, a lot of other people did too. And Kerry just turned right and drove like 1.5 miles, had it by himself, and was catching 25 pounds every day. And I'll never forget that. I was like, man, Dylan, like, you're so dumb. Like, why do you just fish? Like, I didn't know anything about ledge fishing. We don't have a lot of that around Arkansas. But I think I can hold my own just fishing the river, fishing the current and stuff. We have a lot of that. And I didn't even do it. I mean, I just got caught up in what you're supposed to do. And I learned a lot. The next year, I went as a boater through the TBF and went to regionals, and I finished second at the regional. The guy who won the tournament was from Arkansas. I lost by 6 ounces. He caught an 8-pounder the last day. This is a little quick story. I caught this little bitty skinny bass. I think they had to be 13 or 14 inches long down there, 13 or 14, whatever it was. I caught him in practice. Skinny, I remembered him. I measured him. I was like, that's a keeper. Well, the last day of the tournament, I catch that same fish again for number 5. And I was like, that's the same fish. I remembered it. I measured him, and he was dead on the money, like 13 inches long, whatever he had to be. And when I get to the scales, I still have that fish in live well, and I tried to measure him, and I can't make him touch. I cannot make him touch. And I knew it was going to be close, and I was like, I cannot take this chance of getting the penalty. So I threw him back and lost the regional by 6 ounces, and had to go to the national championship as a co-angler. And on Grand Lake, the same week it was the year before when I almost won, and that was hard to do. But I learned a lot, and I got to go back, and it was fun.
That's a tough pill to swallow right there.
That was tough. So, again, man, I learned so much that week. That was a new lake. The regional anyway. It was Ray Roberts in Texas where it was. I had very little experience in Texas. I caught them offshore there, flipping like deep trees, just stuff I'd never done before. And I don't know. As long as I can learn and go with it, at least I get something out of it. I did get to go to the national championships. That's still a pretty big deal.
Absolutely.
Or not.
Absolutely. 2-time TBF national championship qualifier. One of the TBF tournaments the national championship got you into the All-American. So you had that grassroots experience, but we're talking about now the championships. I mean, that's high level fishing right there. And that kind of propelled you into the Toyota series where you've had just a ton of success, man. In fact, I was looking at some of your stats. So you fished multiple divisions of the Toyota series. In 2017, you were the Southwestern Division. You finished 12th in the points race in the Southwest Division. All right. And then 2000, let's see here, in 19, Southeast Division, you finished 14th. But man, you've had Northern Division success too. 2017, you finished 10th. 2018, you finished 23rd. I mean, so we're looking at a 12th place finish in the Southwestern Division. All right, we're looking at a 14th place finish in the Southeastern Division, which is extremely competitive.
Yeah.
We're looking at a 10th and a 23rd finish in the Northern Division, man. You've had a ton of success all over the country. So that, we're going to talk again more about the Northern Division fisheries here in just a minute, but talk about that success in the Toyota Series and really how it got you to the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit. And it's been the key to your success, man. Fishing around the country, doing so well, being so consistent, that has built Dylan Hayes into who he is today.
And I fished multiple divisions to help myself grow. I jumped in the northern coasts at the time because I had zero experience up there. I knew that the tour would one day go to Champlain, would probably go to St. Clair. I got to figure out how to catch a smallmouth. I didn't even catch my first smallmouth until I was 18, and we just don't have a lot of them around here. Same deal, Southwest Division, lakes like Santee Cooper, Seminole, Okeechobee. I've never been to these places. I mean, very little, if any. Chickamauga, same deal. We're going there here next week. I won't learn anything fishing these lakes around the house. I mean, I want to get out and branch out and gain some experience, and it's fun to me. It's like a little vacation almost sometimes, and these have been phenomenal fisheries, and it just helps me grow as an angler, and so that's why I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think about Lake Cherokee last year on the pro circuit. You almost won that event, a top 10 finish. You did a great job on FLW Live, man. You had the 2 E's, education and entertainment. You were breaking stuff down, man. You were really, cooler than the other side of the pillow, man. It was
fun to watch. That was a fun tournament. And let me tell you a quick little deal about that story. I found those fish at 7:30 at night, or the last day of practice. We had like 20 minutes left of practice, legal time, and I'm still grinding, just trying to find something. All my roommates were back at the house already eating supper, and I'm out there and just found them. I absolutely found them that week, and I lost one fish that cost me money. I'm sure everybody lost some fishing for smallmouth that week, but I can say I did have fish the bites to win at least. If I'd have quit 30 minutes before, I probably wouldn't have got a check. Just to be real, I wasn't on anything at all. So that was a pretty neat experience. So I pushed my practice days long, always, even more so because of that week.
Absolutely. That old saying, never give up, man, it holds true, doesn't it?
It really does.
Ain't no doubt about it. Then we fast forward 2019 Toyota Series Championship, Lake Cumberland. I know that hasn't always been real good to you, but you end up finishing 15th at the championship, man. So that was a comeback for Cumberland.
I love Cumberland. And I hate to even said that. The first time I went there, I finished 21st. They took 20, I think, something like that. And I had 17 pounds the first day, and I had low teens the second day. And I thought it was going to be enough to make it. I just barely missed it cut. I was on the deal to do really well. I was catching the same type of deal that Scott Martin won on. I was really confident. I love Highland Lakes like that. Then the next year we went back, I thought I was going to win. After practice, I'm fixing to win this thing. I was catching big smallmouth. I hadn't even done that in the year before. And man, those smallmouth burned me the first day. Oh my gosh, I bombed. I think I had 2 or 3 fish. I didn't even catch the limit. And I had a short day and a long run, and it was just a disaster. And it was probably my single worst day in my professional career. And the next day I was like, screw this, I'm going out to largemouth again. And I catch a good bag the next day, but I was too far behind to catch up. So I love Cumberland. I really love Cumberland. I signed up for the Plains Division's Toyota Series this year because Cumberland's on the championship again, among some other tournaments. But I want to get back there. I really, really like Cumberland a lot.
Absolutely. Talk about your Arkansas roots, man. Obviously, listen, you've adapted to the pro circuit very well. In 4 years, you've made a top 10 every year. every year you made at least one top 10. Again, sitting in fifth place right now, halfway through the season. But talk about your Arkansas roots, man. What prepped you? And again, you're a fast learner for sure, man. You've adapted quickly, but what prepped you to have so much success on so many different fisheries? I mean, you're definitely very versatile. But talk a little bit about that, man.
And I've said this a long time. I mean, like Arkansas is a great place to learn to catch bass and to be versatile. And there's a lot of big names that came out of the state of Arkansas. I mean, there's some, I'm going to say their name. Well, there's some giant names, and
You fish against some of them still.
right,
Larry
and,
Nixon's and yeah.
right. I mean, that's a perfect example. He's 70 years old, still kicking everybody's butt. But like me personally, I grew up in South Arkansas, fishing a lot of river bottom stuff, cypress trees. I mean, where 6 foot is deep, and so
Looks like a Santee Cooper, right?
yes, very similar to that. Very similar to that. But when I left, when I went to college, I moved up to Central Arkansas, and you have more lakes like Lake Washita, Hamilton. Dardanelle wasn't very far from Dardanelle at all. 40 minutes. Used to fish Dardanelle a lot. And then you have it was a little lake nearby that has some good ledges and a lot of offshore structure and big fish. So I learned that aspect. Like they really trained me how to catch fish offshore. And I had the first 18 years of my life. I didn't start really fishing until 12. I was like 12 or 13 years old. So the first 5 or 6 years of my fishing career, I grew up fishing shallow water stuff, and then for the next, ever since then, pretty much, I've been around a lot of deeper, clear reservoirs, and I just learned that aspect, and it's really helped, and I can jump to the Arkansas River real quick, and fish that in Dardanelle, and that. So I can be at a lot of different types of lakes really fast, and that helps. And again, some lakes with some big fish, like you need to learn how to catch big ones, and how to handle them, and that helps as well tremendously. And I envy guys like Spencer Shupfield, for instance. Man, he's grew up in this area of the state, and grew up with his dad, and like what he's learned his whole life. I've had like a crash course the last few years. And this area of the state, the central part of the state, is great to learn to tournament bass fish.
Right. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Great anglers coming out of Arkansas, and you're one of those guys, man. You've been on fire for 4 years on the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit and close to a win several times, which takes us to let's go up north because we got to talk about the Smash Fest, the Hammer Fest tournament. 2018, Chad Grigsby catches nearly 100 pounds of smallmouth bass on Lake St. Clair. You finished second with 95 pounds, 5 ounces, something like that.
Exactly.
Third place, Brad Knight, former FOW Cup champion. He had over 90 pounds, but you were in contention to win that event. To have an event like that where you're catching 20-pound plus bags of smallmouth for 4 days in a row is incredible. And I think that particular tournament got you a lot of notoriety. That's kind of when Dylan Hayes, that puts you on the map. And that's kind of one of those things, man. You're fishing against the best anglers in the world on one of the greatest fisheries in the world. And again, a guy from Arkansas comes up there and smashes them. That was a fun tournament.
That was a blast. I've never found a school of fish like that, and I probably never will again. I think every bass in the lake was within a cast of me. I felt like it.
How'd you catch them in that tournament, man?
I caught them. I weighed, I think, 18 out of 20 on a Ned rig. It was a 3/16 mustad head, mushroom head, with at the time it was a Z-Man TRD wearing what I was throwing. And then I think I weighed 2 on a drop shot. It was kind of funny how that all unfolded. I had a terrible, I say terrible, I didn't have that good of practice. The first day, I probably had like low 20s the first day, but it wasn't easy. I didn't feel great about it. The second day, it was a wash, man. I didn't catch crap. The third day, it was like, I don't know, 1 o'clock, and I hadn't done anything at all. And Shane Lineberger, one of my really good buddies, he calls me and he's like, "Man, you doing any good?" I was like, "Man, I'm really not." He's like, "I'm catching a few." He's like, "I'll show you how I'm doing." And I'm like, I didn't know. Like at this point, like St. Clair is really overwhelming to people like me from Arkansas because there's no contours, very little contours, and I didn't understand it. I didn't get it, and so I went over there by Shane. He's way off the bank, freaking mile off the bank, and he's like, "Just drop your drop shot in the water." I said, "Why? What is right here?" He said, "Just do it." I dropped it in the water, and I caught one. I said, "Okay." It was just a little, like it wasn't even big. I said, "Okay, well, he's being nice. He's showing me how to catch a fish. Thank you, Shane." Like it wasn't like it was a 4 pounder. And well, like the next little drop, I catch another one. So like the light bulb, like my wheels are going now, like I'm rolling. So I started just drifting. And I started kind of trying to copy that, and well, like about an hour later, I catch like a 4 and a 3. I'm a long ways from where we talked. I mean, I was probably a mile or two from where we talked before, and I was okay. So I just like scooted over a little bit because I didn't want to burn them up. I don't even know. I don't think you can, but I didn't want to burn them. So I scooted over like a couple hundred yards, and I started drifting, and when I catch like a 4, another 4, and like another 3, huh? So I was like, crank up. I'm serious, Chris. It was the most random 4 hours of fishing, but it was the most incredible 4 hours of fishing ever. For the next 4 hours, every time I picked a troublemaker up, I would move 200-300 yards, and I would drift for like 15, 20 minutes, and I would catch like 17, 18, 20 plus pounds. And on that drift, every single time I dropped the trolling motor, and I was like, dude, something is crazy going on here because I ain't never seen nothing like this. And it was no, the only thing was the area. There was nothing else besides that. And it wasn't like I was beating them up. I mean, I was moving several hundred yards every time.
Yeah.
And the first day, I roll in there and I was catching on a drop shot too. Well, the one day in practice, it got really slick calm, and my practice partner Justin, he caught like 10 before I caught one on a Ned rig. When I was like, man, so it weren't big, but it went in the memory box. Well, the first day of the tournament, I caught a big one on a drop shot, and then it slicked off. I was like, okay, let's try this Ned rig deal out. The first bite's a 5 pounder, and I never put it down the rest of the week. And and I look back at that tournament, I lost like 6 bass over 6 pounds that week. I don't know what I would ever do different. Even now, me being more experienced, I still don't know what I would have done different. I never lost one under 5. I think this great big giant ones, mouths were so hard, and I was having to throw a long ways from the boat to get them to bite. Like they just spit it. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I have a 7 pounder. I know it was over 7 because like 2 casts later I caught a 610. But I had that 7 pounder. I fought her for like 30 seconds. Like I thought I had her because I don't St. Clair. There's no trees, no nothing. She ain't gonna get wrapped up on nothing. And she just pulling, 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 pulling. I just let her go and just hold her, and it just came off. I mean, this came off, and I was bad. But anyway, I left those fish at 10 o'clock that morning with 23 pounds, and like I thought that was probably pretty good. And I know I could have caught some more 5 pounders if I just stayed for a couple of hours, but I didn't want to get seen. I didn't want anybody to see me.
Yeah.
I didn't want any more pressure. Me, I knew Brad was in there, but we weren't talking at that time. Next day was the day I caught 26 and a half by 10 o'clock again. The very last cast I called was 1/5, and it was like 10 more trying to get the bait out of the mouth. They were all like 5 or 6 pounds. And Brad came over there about that same time, and he was like, "You good?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm pretty good." And so we left at 10 o'clock that day too. And the third day I had 22 pounds, but I lost like 3 big ones that day. But I took the lead that day, even though I had my lowest weight. So I kind of lost it that day too. Day 4, I don't know. Chad just had a great day, and he caught like 25 or 6 pounds that day. And I still caught 23 again. Right there at the very end of the day, I had a late day spurt. I found a new school, a new little group of them. They were in little groups, and I caught 9 in a row over 4 pounds. And I don't think the first 2 helped me. After that, the rest of them wouldn't help me anymore. And I went. Well, a lot of people know this, but I went back that morning. I jumped off on like the 6-pounder, and when I say jump, every one that I lost, every big one that I lost, they would be on the hook set, and they would come straight up. I mean, out of 20 foot of water and spit it initially, like they just open their mouth and come out like they were never hooked. Well, I did that morning. Well, I had like 10 minutes of fishing left. I was like, well, I'm gonna go back where I lost that 6-pounder and just see what happens. And dude, I'll be dang if I didn't lose that 6-pounder again, or one just like it in the same cast. The last cast of that tournament, I lost a 6-pounder. I don't know. Chad had 97 pounds. I had 95. I mean, it'd have been close if I'd have caught that. But regardless, that was it's an awesome week, awesome tournament. I wish somebody would have broken 100 pounds just to do it. But Chad had 97, and we weren't like side by side, but I could hear him screaming when he caught one. He was pretty close. And me and Brad talked the whole week. He had 93, I had 95, and our co-anglers combined had over 80 for the 2 days of the tournament. And it was just a lot of fish. There was a lot of bass there. It was neat.
That's incredible, man. What a great, and like I said, you had success already with FLW, but that one put you on the map. You've been close to a W several times, man. That win's coming. I'm telling you, that win's coming.
I hope you're right.
You know, we got the super tournaments coming up, and we're going to be back up there in Detroit River, man. That's I think three events away, August. I know you're looking forward to going back up there, man.
Yeah, I'm excited going back. I'll be dead honest with you. I heard Dudley say this one day that place scares me more than any lake I've ever been to, because like there's no rhyme or reason to it sometimes. I'm sure you can look at little bitty gradual changes and look at grass and hold the grass and bait and all that stuff, but it's true, you do. But still, like it ain't always easy to land on the juice there, and I know it's not going to be, but we're going to have fun trying. I know that.
Absolutely. That's what, I've been doing this since 2002. That's one of my favorite TV shows ever. Definitely day 4 of that tournament was my favorite FLW Live segment that we've done so far. You guys put on the show, man. It was cool. All right, Dylan, man, let's talk about the super tournaments coming up, man. You fished against a lot of those guys in the past. We got some of the greatest anglers coming over from Major League Fishing, some of the greatest anglers in the world. The money's great. We're paying $10,000 to 102 places. And it's all about the points race for you sitting in 5th, man. Let's talk about the super tournaments.
Yeah, man, I'm really, really, really looking forward to the super tournaments. When I first found out that was going to happen, I was really excited for one, the money. And there's I think $1 million more in the pot now, spread out. That's a big deal. There's some big name anglers coming that I've looked up to my whole life, that I've learned from my whole life. I'm ready to fish against. There's a lot of my buddies that used to fish FLW coming over to fish against me again. So it's going to be a good time. I think we're going to Chickamauga, going to La Crosse, and going to Detroit. Those are all places I've been before. Those are all fantastic fisheries. I'm looking forward to getting back to all of them. It's a change of events. This year's schedule I thought was going to be my favorite schedule. And I'll even back up a second. I don't care where we go. I don't care when we go. I don't care what the conditions are. Everybody has to catch them no matter what. I got to do my job every time. It don't matter. But we had Dardanelle left. We had Cherokee left, and we had St. Clair left. Like, I was kind of liking that, and but it's changed. But I like Chickamauga, I like La Crosse, I like Detroit, so it's all good. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, man. Hey, ultimately, this is the road to the FLW title. The top 50 in the points are going to go to Messina, New York. We're going to fish on the St. Lawrence River in a Major League Fishing BPT format, where it's a catch, weigh, and release deal. You gotta love that, man.
Yes. I have not made a cup yet. I've finished 69th the first year. I've learned a lot. Second year, the year I finished second at St. Clair, I was 2 points out, first person out. And then last year, I was like 10 points out or 13 points out. I mean, I missed 2 cups by less than 20 points. That's nothing over the whole year. You know, how many possible points it is. That's very frustrating, especially the last two have been in Arkansas. So that was hard to swallow. Not saying it would have helped me, but I dang sure would have liked to give it a shot. So yes, fifth in points halfway through the year, trying to make the championship. St. Lawrence River, I've been there a handful of times now because I fished the Northern Division. We fished out of Messina last year, so that's a lot different than going out of Clayton, but I do like it. It's a fantastic fishery. I really hope we get a shot to go back to Newport.
Absolutely, man. What do you think about the BPT format too? Catch, weigh, and release.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm looking forward to that. I've never fished an event like that. I think it'd be fun. It's a whole different format, different game plan, different deal going down, different than the whole rest of the year. But I'm looking forward to giving it a shot.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, before we wrap it up, a few more things. Most memorable fish catch, man. Does any one fish catch come to mind?
Easy. The final day, Lake St. Clair. I'm leading the event. I have cameraman in the boat. I have 7 or 8 chase boats watching me. I have a drone above my head. It felt like it was, but about 6 feet above my head. I don't know how high it was. And like the first or second cast of the day, I hook a 5-pounder on that rig on a spinner rod. And like I'm pretty cool, man. Like a lot of fishing is right here, and I can keep it together. Like I'm pretty well put together and pretty calm. And at that very moment, I forgot how to breathe. Like just absolutely forgot how to breathe. I could not catch my breath. That fish was jumping. I was like, oh my God, please land this bass. And I landed it. I caught it. And after that, I was good the rest of the day. I didn't get nervous one more time. I wasn't nervous before or after, but that 20 seconds reeling that fish in, like I thought the world was going to come to an end if that fish came off.
That's awesome, man. I think I remember that fish catch. I remember it. I'm telling you.
I'll never forget that, ever. Hands down, the easiest, most memorable fish catch for sure.
And it seems like you're always pretty relaxed, man. Like I said, that's your personality and that's your style, and it fits you really well, man. But that's kind of one of those deals. Talk about what's it like fishing on FOW Live, man.
I love it. I love teaching. I love showing people what I'm doing. I want people to interact so they can get something out of it. And I have a lot of support, man. I have lots of friends and family that watch it and they chime in. They tell me, man, we watched you all day. You did good. Or we love watching you. And what you did was real funny or whatever, whatever it is. Like a lot of people like it and it's cool. It's a good time.
I told you before, you get the 2 E's, education and entertainment, man. You do it well. And you got a lot of good social media going out there too. You want to plug this. In fact, I'll tell you what, Dylan, this is your time before we close the show. Is there anyone out there in the FOW universe, sponsors, social media that you need to plug? You get it done now.
All right, well, y'all can follow me, Dylan Hayes Fishing, on Instagram, Dylan Hayes Fishing on Facebook, DylanHayesFishing.com if you're looking at a guide trip or anything. I have a lot of support from family, a lot of support from sponsors. I want to thank them all right now. And it's cliche, but without them, could not do it. Hands down, couldn't do it. And man, like this, follow me, and hopefully we can close the year out the same way we started it.
You got a lot of great sponsors out there too, man. That's powering you up.
Yes, I really do. And I mean, man, like it's without them, like I wouldn't even try it. So I'm
Sure.
glad to have them back.
Absolutely, man. Hey, one of the best young, versatile, talented anglers on the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit today. Dylan Hayes out of Arkansas sits in 5th place halfway through the 2020 season. Dylan, thanks for joining me, man, on this episode of Catching Up with Chris Jones.
Thanks, buddy. I'm really glad you had me over tonight.
You got it, man. Absolutely, man. Hey, and I'm going to see you next week, Lake Chickamauga.
I'm ready.
You are the man. Great show tonight. Thanks for joining me, Dylan Hayes. Listen, for all things fishing, log on to FLWFishing.com. It's the world's most popular competitive fishing website. Join me next week as we'll have a new pro on Catching Up with Chris Jones. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless.